And the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare
the way that Hello, everybody, and welcome to race number 2 of the Cyber Thunder Rising Stars Series, live from the Michigan International Speedway in the beautiful Irish Hills of Michigan. I'm Tanner Tellerico, alongside our two commentators, Tom Richter and Tim Rogers, getting ready to kick off the second event of the season for these guys tonight. Tim, Tom, what do you think we can expect?
Oh yeah, it's going to be an interesting race. Michigan's a real technical track, and it's going to be interesting to see how these rookies get around here.
Yeah, absolutely. Tim, Tanner, it's always a pleasure to spend the night out here with you guys. As we take a look at the standings here from last week, Tanner's got more information on those. We saw a slobber knocker of a race at Daytona. We see last week's winner Brian Dorsey as your current points leader out here in the Michigan State tonight.
Yeah, and obviously by virtue of winning the race last weekend at Daytona, Dorsey's obviously the top of the points right here. But as we're looking at the standings, you can see that the top 6 in points are, in the green. Obviously, it's early on in the season, but the way that the point system works for this series is the top 6 cars are going to be able to run for the championship when we get down to the wire. So top 6 on the left side of the standing screen is currently in the green, and the first 6 out are on the right. You see Paul Turner leading that group. But obviously, it's a pretty tight points battle that we got going on right now, as 12th place is still only 14 points behind your leader, Brian Dorsey.
Yeah, absolutely. As we switch over here to the schedule, we got Michigan 60 laps here tonight. Michigan is a whole different animal than what we experienced last week. Do you think that we're going to see any different names up front here this week that we saw maybe last week, or do you think that the people that we saw last week are going to be the ones we're talking about here again tonight, Tim and Tanner?
Well, I think it's going to be a little bit more in the driver's hands tonight, just because this is a more throttle brake steering input type track, not necessarily as wide open. And definitely I think there'll be a handful of guys that are going to be quick all season that'll rise to the top of the boards tonight for sure. But there might be some people that carry over the speed from Daytona and ride the momentum wave, if you will, into Michigan tonight. But we'll just have to wait and see how it all shakes out when things go green.
Absolutely. And finally, before we get started with our pre-race picks, qualifying here is a little bit different, but in the track and on the boot tonight, we have Tim Rogers, myself, and Tanner Tallarico, as I'm trying to find this information over here. Michigan 2 Mile Speedway, D Oval. Tanner, Tim, what's our fuel strategy like tonight? Michigan always seems to come down to a fuel race at the end, doesn't it?
Well, I think with these cars, with the amount of off-throttle time that they have, they'll probably be able to stretch the fuel mileage a little bit further than, say, the other series that come here. I know tomorrow night we'll be here in the Pro Cup series and the Cup cars, and these cars tonight, the ARCA cars, will probably be able to go a little bit longer than they will tomorrow. And I know tomorrow the fuel window's about 40 laps or so, so I would have to say tonight we're going to be shooting somewhere in the 35 to 42, maybe 43 lap range as far as pit stop cycles go on the fuel window.
Absolutely. We got just a little over 5 minutes to go here. I see Cindy out here in our YouTube chat box. I want to see our YouTube picks for tonight. Who does everybody have for their race picks? I know Tanner, Tim, and I, we were talking about a little bit before. We got a little bit of a surprising pick out here between the three of us, but I want to hear what YouTube is picking for tonight's race. Tanner, Tim, who you guys got for tonight?
Well, I'm going to go with a veteran, if you will, of the Cyber Thunder Racing League and really of the Rising Stars division over the past year or so. And I'm going to go with Dale Lee. He's always consistent. He's always right there. Doesn't always have the fire-off speed right out of the box to really go up there and just drive through the field. But Dale's the kind of person where if you put him in the right position, he's able to click off all the laps all night long and usually scrape for a good finish. So I'm going to go with Dale. I think this being the second race of the season and his experience in this series over the past year, like I said, is really going to play into his hands tonight. Tim, who you got?
I'm going to go with another veteran of the series, the number 44 of Cole Gray. I think he's a really consistent driver, and I think if we get a long run, we can expect him to bring it back up front.
Both very solid picks. I've known Dale for a long, long time, and I'm glad to see Dale making the improvements that he is he clicked off a couple wins in the Super Late Model Tour earlier this week. I believe they were at Lanier or USA. I don't even know. But you know what? It's hard to go against the people that we were able to see up front last week. But you know what? Tanner went with Dale. I'm gonna go with Rob Rogerson. I think Rob is another one of those longtime K&N drivers that always just kind of runs 5th, 6th, 7th place, but Tim, Tanner, you guys know this as well as I do. You get out here, you run 5th, 6th, 7th every week. Eventually, you're going to have a week where everything goes your way and you find yourself in victory lane. And maybe that is how tonight will go for Rob and the 78 team.
Absolutely, Tom. You're correct there. If you just do everything right, one night the cards are going to go your way. But as we're talking about that, I think it is important that we hit on the way that the qualifying format is going to work for the series tonight. Unfortunately, there's going to be a couple drivers that are going to have to go home and miss the race tonight, so things won't be going their way. We're going to be taking the top 24 cars on time from practice will be eligible to clock a qualifying lap to get into tonight. So as of right now, I believe that bubble driver is Josh Brackett. Actually, I think it just switched to David Gainforth right at the line there. So currently your bubble driver is David Gainforth with Josh Brackett just ahead of him in the safe, and the first driver out, Michael Thomas in the 920.
Yeah, and you see Dave Gameforth, as soon as he went to that bubble, we switch over to him, and he is now sitting on pit road as he now exits his car, probably getting a fresh set of Goodyear tires on there, getting ready to make another run, trying to put a little bit of security in that top 24 spot that he needs to be in right here. I see Cindy Range out here. I think I know who Cindy's shooting for. Cindy is shooting for Corey. Corey Range certainly showed a strong hand out here last week at Daytona in the season opener. Was leading on the final lap, or was side by side for the lead on the final lap when there was a little bit of contact, and then we saw the slobber knocker thereon after. But good to see Cindy joining us back out here tonight, rooting on Corey.
Yeah, and currently right now Corey's looking pretty sporty, actually sitting 7th on the board. So as of right now, he is looking pretty comfortable as making the race on time. I'll have to see how Corey does the rest of the night, but good-looking Coors machine out there tonight. Good drink, so we'll see if Corey can put together a good run when qualifying rolls around here, in about 3 minutes or so.
I also may have heard, Tanner and Tim, that
Huh?
I also may have heard that we have a birthday in the house, do we?
We do have a birthday in the house tonight. I made sure that I made a note of it here. Richard Pruitt in the number 248 machine, 24 on your screen. It's his birthday today, so I'm sure Richard's going to be looking for a good run. I know he said he had a lot of people tuning in to watch the race and watch him perform. So hello from the cyber booth to you. And we'll
happy
see if
birthday.
Richard Pruitt. Yeah, happy birthday to Richard. We'll see if he can go up there and get it done tonight.
Yeah, Richard and newly formed JR Motorsports, Junior Motorsports, whatever they're called, I don't even know. Him and Jamie Beasley certainly making waves, both of them on the K&N Rising Stars, coming out here strong. They had a strong showing last week. Jamison Beasley, we talked about him a lot last week. He was really pushing everybody, but I see Dylan out here giving me a hard time in our YouTube chat box and the cyber chat box. Good to see everybody out there. Got just over a minute to go here before we switch over to qualifying, as we continue to watch that 24th place bubble before we go to qualifying. So after the practice ends, we're going to take the top 24 times, and from there we're going to do a 2-lap closed qualifying to set the actual grid. Currently on the bubble right now is Chris Wold is now down in the 24th spot as we switch over to him. He's coming out of turn number 4, it looks like here, as he's on track trying to make another run at it.
Yeah, and I believe this is going to be a timed lap for him right here. He had a little bit of draft help down the back straightaway. We'll see if he runs across the line. 40.03, so he's not going to improve on his time and jump up the boards at all. Still going to be stuck as the bubble car. He's got just over a minute to get it done. Too late to come back to pit road and put a new set of tires on, so he's going to have a really good lap right here as he gets really
loose out of turn 2 there. Yeah, and
him back straightaway. Good draft
him and Cole Gray getting a big push down here into turn number 3. I don't know if you want that push in these cars. I don't know if that's going to help you. But you know what, Tanner? He might get another time lap in here. He's going to come across the line with about 29 seconds to go. It might be a little short. of another lap.
Yep, he's really going to have to hit his marks right here. It looks like Dalton Carter right behind him is really sort of laid off his bumper and giving him a little bit of room. We'll have to see what he does. It looks like he gets tight off at 2 and loose again. It's definitely not going to help his lap time, but he's got about 10 seconds. Maybe he'll make the race when the timer runs out. We'll just have to see here.
Yeah, and qualifying here is qualifying for the race is an animal all of its own. So nice to see Dalton given a little bit of extra room as we see the checkered flag out this time around for the practice for the K&N Rising Stars Series. So it looks like our 24th place car, final cut car.
Chris Wald.
Chris Wald. There we go.
The number 32. Looks like, unfortunately, the cars that we'll have to be sending home tonight that didn't make the cut: the 905 of Josh Brackett, the 920 of Michael Thomas, the 36 of Alan Robinson, the 119 of Christopher Daniel, Jerry Isaacs, Jake Rhodes, Patrick Stein, and Ernesto Palladora. Unfortunately, did not make the field tonight, but of course, as always, appreciate them coming out and at least making an attempt at it. And the split was not off by much. Just looks like 7 thousandths of a second was the deciding factor between Chris Wold and Josh Brackett.
Yeah, certainly tough. But Tanner, we got a few minutes. Let's throw this thing trackside for tonight's opening ceremonies for tonight's national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? Oh, say, can you see?
All right, and we're back here. Beautiful rendition of our national anthem, the Star Spangled Banner, as we see Chris Wold making his way through turn number 3 and 4 currently. Currently, your provisional pole sitter, Justin Groves, with 39.57. Rob Rogerson, I believe that was my pick. Chad Ellis, Dennis Ellis, and Cole Gray round out your top 5 currently.
Yep, Corey Range, we were talking about him not too long ago, sitting there. Oh, he was in the 6th position, just got bumped by Michael Witt, I believe, bumped Cole Gray and Corey down a little bit. But Justin Gross at the top of the board right now by almost 0.2 of a second. We saw in practice that he was quite a bit quicker, and there's good speed in that race car, so obviously that's transferring over from practice.
How about Rob Rogerson in second in the Matt Kenseth car? Way to go, guy.
Mike Taylor jumping up to 3rd place, I believe, and Dave Sanders getting up there. Chris Wold jumps to 4th quick on his 2nd lap. Did not think the 2nd lap would be quicker, but obviously that's not the case for Chris, as he improves almost 1/10 and a half over his 1st lap.
From 24th in practice to 4th on the grid so far.
Hey, sometimes that's the way it's got to work for you. You just got to get into the race, and then everything starts going your way once you're in it. Looks like that's kind of the way it's going right now for Chris.
And the triple threat, 6th, 7th, and 8th place. 6th, 7th, and 8th place. Chad, Dennis, and Jonathan Ellis lining up just outside the top 5, followed by Michael Witt and Brian Dorsey, last week's winner, rounding out your top 10.
Want to take a peek down the boards real quick? See where our birthday boy is slotted in. Looks like Richard Pruitt, as of right now, I believe he has taken both of his laps. He's going to slot in 19th place, so not exactly the qualifying effort that I think Richard was looking for, but he's in the race, and Birthday
He's-
boy's going to go and get himself some here when we drop the green flag.
Yeah, Steve Letarte and that whole 24 crew have been trying to get this car dialed in the past week, and they just didn't get it done for qualifying.
They need Ray Evernham back.
Hey, watch it.
That's coming from a Jimmy Johnson fan who, it's a shame, but
30 seconds left in qualifying
30
here.
seconds left in qualifying. I see last season's champion out here. Last season's champion, Kyle Jetty.
What?
Kyle Jetty in the chat.
I thought we
He has access to the internet?
I thought we banned you from this series. Rooting for Michael Witt and Zachy C to take this one. Kyle, certainly great to see you out here. Hope to see you out here on track again. Last season, obviously, Kyle and Jade, they put a spanking on the entire field, top to bottom. They won damn near the entire season, but great to see Kyle out here in our YouTube chat box rooting for Michael Witt and Zachy C.
Yep, and it looks like that will conclude qualifying. Justin Groves is going to be your provisional pole winner with a 39.56 as we see the field start to grid up on pit road. Outside the front row is going to be Robert Rogerson in the number 78. Inside of row number 2, Mike Taylor in the 56. Outside of him will be Dave Sanders in the 77. And rounding out the top 5, last car to make it into the qualifying session, in the top 5 here, once we get the race going, Chris Wold in the 32.
In that Boys State Broncos, Chevy Impala leading the first of the 3 Ellises, 6th, 7th, and 8th place. Chad, Dennis, and Jonathan all rolling out what looks to be a Ford Impala there, followed by Michael Witt and Brian Dorsey rounding out the top 10.
Starting 11th is my pick, the number 44 of Cole Gray. In the 12th position is the 071 of Corey Range. And 13th will be Paul Turner. 14th, Jameson Beasley. And 15th, Raymond Dormer.
Starting in 16th tonight will be Charles Gettings in the 96. Inside of him will be Zachary Chalice in the number 22. Rolling off 18th, Robert Gregoire in the number 82 machine. Coming home in 19th, the birthday boy, Richard Pruitt. And rounding out the top 20, my pick, the number 45, Dale Lee.
Dr. Dale Lee, do it for Dale Lee. That's what we say around here. We got Dave Gameforth in that chrome car, that number 101 car coming out. 967, Mike Mahoney, Eric Moore, Alan Robinson. And Eric Moore going to be rounding out the field of 24. We've got... These names flash so quickly, I can't keep up with them. We got Jerry Isaacs, Ernesto Dalton Carter, Michael Thomas, Christopher Daniel, Josh Brackett, Patrick Stein, Jake Rhodes, and Scotty Zerk all sitting on the sidelines today.
And there you have it. That is your starting lineup tonight for our 60-lap event. 120 miles is the distance for the Rising Star Series, race number 2 of the season. As they start to head off pit road here, cars coming up to speed.
Cars coming up to speed. 1 lap to catch up to the pace car here. Always over or under on 4 cautions. I don't know. I got to say under, Dylan. We had 1 caution last week, and we were caution-free last night. So I think we got to say under. These guys in the Cyber Thunder Rising Stars series, Crank Bell puts on an awesome show over here. I think you're going to see the under on 4 cautions.
I don't know. This place is, it's really wide, but, we're really packing the field together here. I don't know. I want to say that we're probably going to be 4 on the dot. That's what I'm saying. 4 cautions on the dot tonight, but, hopefully that's not the case. We can get some good green flag racing here as the field heads down the back straightaway under caution.
Dylan Reed rooting for Dr. Dale Lee as well. Good to see Dr. Dale Lee. All right. 2 for Dale out there. So I got Rob Rogerson as we try to find a good camera angle here. Justin Groves going to be leading the field down here into turn numbers 3 and 4. I don't know. We'll see how everything goes. Rob Rogerson starting on the outside. Justin Groves electing to start on the inside. iRacing Green controls all starts and restarts here tonight. Tanner, Tim, you want to go racing in the Irish Hills of Michigan National Speedway?
I'd love to go racing in the Irish Hills of Michigan. The Ford Mustang GT pace car dives down onto pit road. Field enters the Geico restart zone. Flagman looks the front row over. He's going to pull the trigger on the green flag, and we're racing for race number 2 of the Rising Star Series. Justin Gross, Robert Rogerson, side by side as they head down the front straightaway into turn number 1.
Green flag is back. Green flag is out for the first time tonight. Still side by side. Dead heat going down here in turn number 1. With these ARCA cars, these K&N cars, you want to get these. A lot of these cars are underpowered, so you want to get these RPMs up. You want to keep them up, as you see Rob Rogerson take command of the lead coming out of turn number 2 off the top line on that initial start of the race there.
Boys, we're 3 wide going into 3.
You see 3 wide, Dennis Ellis on the bottom, Michael Witt in the middle, and I believe that's Jonathan Ellis on the high side as they single file out now off turn number 4, working down to the inside of the speedway, trying to clear the, let's see who that is on the top, the 40 car of Chad Ellis. Just a group of Ellises right there in the middle.
It's a group of Ellises. They're all kind of coming together. Brian Dorsey, last week's winner, trailing him right on the top side right there, trying to follow right in his tire tracks. All of these guys trying to get what they can while the getting is good and the tires are still there. As we see Cole Gray all the way down on the inside line, 3 wide going into turn number 3.
You can't do that.
We're 3 wide again into 3. 2 laps in a row. Cole Gray trying to work the bottom. He's going to split that seam. It's going to get loose down there on him, but it looks like he's going to hold on to it. Maybe lose some spots from the freight train on the outside, but...
For sure, and Dennis Ellis kind of leads the charge off of turn number 4. As we're talking about 10th place up here, but up front, Justin Gross has regained the lead over Rob Rogerson and Mike Taylor. I see, who do we see out here? We see Chris Harvey and Tyler Beeman. Chris Harvey's got the doctor, and Tyler Beeman's got anybody in a blue and yellow car.
Is that another for the Dr. Dale Lee?
That's another
Chris Walden in the wall on the backstretch. Looks like he's going to pull that car off. Got in the wall glue there a little bit. Might be a little damage to the right side of that machine.
As we take a look at his right rear suspension here, yeah, we got the right rear suspension camera going on here. See a little bit of scrape down here by that dog. I don't know his name.
That's the underdog.
That's the underdog. He's the underdog. He's the underdog racing. Isn't that what he's on?
That's correct. Field single file now as we head into turn number 1, working lap number 4. No real side-by-side battles for the moment, but these guys are definitely trying out every lane that they can. Just as I say that, we are going to go side-by-side. It looks like Corey Range and Zach Chialis and Charles Gettings have a little battle going on with Eric Moore right behind them.
Yeah. Numbers.
Number 3.
Number 3, got it. No.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, he is number 3.
That's Eric Moore.
Oh, got some smoke in turn number 1. Maybe that was just some lag smoke. Not sure if something's going on or... Yep, looked like it was just lag. Somebody up there having a little bit of computer problems. Not sure who, but up front, Justin Gross is just absolutely checked out by 15, maybe 20 car lengths now over Robert Rogers head off the end of the back straightaway. What was that, Tim?
You think he's saving tire?
I don't think he's saving tire. At the pace he's running right now, I think he's out front, and he's just keeping that thing out in the wind, and we'll see the lap times here at the line. But I'd have to imagine he's probably at least a 10th or 10th and a half quicker than these guys right now. It's a 40.04 at the line for Justin Gross and a 40.64 for Robert Rogerson in second. Oh, that's over a half second quicker. Holy smokes.
Who's now being chased by Mad Sim Racing Mike Taylor. Mike Taylor won the knockout qualifying race and almost won, was 200 feet from the start-finish line before he got, I don't know.
A little bump by Dave Sanders, his teammate.
There was a little teammate bump there at the end of the race there as we see Rob Rogerson kind of take the third line up, trying to keep that or those RPMs in that DeWalt Ford Taurus up as they come out of turn number 4 to tick off lap number 7.
Yeah, and you see that Mike Taylor definitely keeping the heat on him as much as he can. And just behind them, there's another battle going on between the 77 of Dave Sanders and Jonathan Ellis in the 72 machine. And it looks like Jonathan Ellis is going to peek to the inside off turn number 2. Can't quite get there, it doesn't look like. Oh, he is there. They're side by side down the back straightaway.
Well, you know what they say, Tanner. Anytime you see those aerial numbers, you know they mean business. As we head down here into turn number 3, as 72 dives way down in there, Jonathan Ellis tries to make that pass, and he's going to be clear.
Yeah, it looks like
Rogerson had a big bubble there. Yeah, he certainly did.
Yeah, he's going to get passed by, it looks like, Dave Sanders as well, and now he's also under fire from Chris Wold, and I'm trying to see who that is just ahead of him in the 20s. Oh, that's Michael Witt. Yeah, Rogerson going the wrong way in a hurry. Not sure if he got into the wall with that car, or maybe he's having some computer issues. Like I said, we know we had some lag going on, but He's side by side with Chris Wald right now, and it looks like he's in the backstretch wall.
Oh,
And he's
yeah.
spinning to the inside.
Oh, yeah.
Looks like he's going to gather that thing up, but definitely not the start to the race Rogerson wanted. Looks like he's going to slow down and maybe come to pit road.
He's
he gets into Corey Range. Corey's sideways. Can he save it?
Everybody does a really nice job to hold on to it, but what a change of events. The right side of that car looks clean as he flashes by us here at the front stretch of the Michigan International Speedway. All the fenders look clean on that car. Tires look up. All the Goodyear lettering is still on there, so I'm not sure what's going on there. Maybe he's having some sort of mechanical malfunction. I know I've had that happen more than a few times where your wheel might come loose or your wheel pops off or something might be going on over there in that 78 camp.
Yeah, and that's really unfortunate for the 071 of Corey Range. I believe he was running up towards the middle of the pack before all that happened. I believe he was running about 15th and just got clipped there the slightest bit by Rogerson trying to avoid, and unfortunately couldn't gather that car up in time and had to come to the stop down off the racing surface, so it didn't warrant a yellow. But nonetheless, definitely a unfortunate hit there for Corey Range in the 071.
Yeah, tough luck there. He was just sitting duck. Nothing he could do.
And our scoring is going crazy, but it looks to be relatively accurate as far as it's showing everybody one lap down, but it looks like everybody's in the right position. So we're going to try to get that reset here in the next minute or two as we still take a look at Corey Range. We're going to switch back over here to our current race leader, Justin Gross. Oh, there it goes.
And Justin Gross is absolutely in a zip code of his own right now. He's extended that lead out to almost 2.5 seconds as we're working lap 11 of this 60 lapper. So if he keeps this pace up, he's gonna, lap up into the middle of the field. He's really on rails in that 199 car tonight.
Absolutely. And one person I want to talk about, we haven't really said his name too much. We're only 11 laps since tonight's race, but he started back in the 23rd position. I want to bring up Eric Moore. Eric Moore in that 300 Scoots Customs car is moved up to the number 14th spot. So he's already on the move, and it's so tough to make up positions here in these ARCA cars without burning up those tires and just not having anything at the end there.
Yeah, and speaking of big movers, I want to take a real quick peek at the 22 car of Zachary Chialis right now. He started 17th, was all the way up to 12th at one point, really making some good time. Not sure if he got out of the groove or something and gave up a couple spots, but for a few laps there, he was really on the charge, looking like he was going to be knocking on the door of the top 10. Actually, he's really high off turn number 2 right now. Almost got into the wall.
Yeah.
As Cole Gray go underneath.
As we see Cole Gray making that that really abrasive move down there. Tanner, let's go on board with Cole Gray here for a lap. Bring us around a lap around Michigan International Speedway. You think you can help us out with that?
Yeah, I can probably help you out with that. And we see Cole right here riding on board with the 44 RST Timberworks Chevrolet Camaro. Coming down here into turn number 1, you really want to wash that car out to the wall and really get a wide entry. Now you want to try to bring it down a little bit lower than Cole is right here, right down there to that first black seam, and really maximize your corner speed and time differential. But going to come off turn number 2, down the back straightaway, stay in the draft of the number 42 car. That's his teammate, Paul Turner, going into turn number 3. Still a little bit high on the speedway. A little higher than preferred, but nonetheless looks like Cole's making it working, and he's actually reeling in the 42 here as he come off turn number 4.
Yeah, good run out of turn number 4 as we see Cole. That's a lap around Michigan. You blink and you miss it. 40 seconds and you got a lap around here as we're going to bring our attention back up to the battle for the second and third place car between Mike Taylor and Jonathan Ellis. That's not Jonathan Ellis.
Yes, it is.
That is Jonathan Ellis in the 72.
56.
Looking to the inside
56,
of the
that's
56.
where we're going.
I got really tight right there.
I was
like
on
they
the
were
wrong
going to make
camera.
contact.
There we go.
Looks like Jonathan Ellis is to the inside of Mike Taylor now for the second position. Again, the leader, Justin Gross, is absolutely in a field of his own right now. But this battle for second, these 4, you could throw a blanket over them. They're really going at it.
Yeah, 3 seconds out front. That's going to be the score down here into turn number 1 as you see the power headset Chevy Impala for Mad Sim Racing, yellow, blue, green. I'm not really sure, but Mad Sim Racing currently trying to hold up on the top side as you see Dave Sanders trying to push his teammate through. You got Michael Wick kind of stuck in the middle between those two as well.
Behind these guys, it's about 10 car lengths back to the number 32 machine of Chris Wold, running in 6th. About another 10 car lengths or so back to your point leader, the number 9 of Brian Dorsey. Dennis Ellis running in 8th. Chad Ellis running in 9th. And Charles Gettings is going to round out the top 10 about 7 seconds off of the leader.
Yeah, and we see Jonathan Ellis has overtaken the second place position over Mike Taylor. Mike Taylor driving that number 56 for Tyler and Brad out there, sporting the Power Headsets colors. Michael Witt now filling up the 56's rearview mirror as they head down here into turn number 3.
Yeah, and you've got to wonder, maybe these guys were saving a little bit. You know, it looks like Chris Wold as well as Brian Dorsey are starting to reel this pack in, and we could have a 6-car battle for second here before long. Like I said, the leader's kind of in a field of his own right now, so really the race is for second, and looks like everybody wants in on it.
Yeah, and you know what's funny, Tim and Tanner, you know, I mean, obviously you guys were in the race last night. We ran the Xfinity race at Auto Club, not Michigan. We ran the Xfinity race at Auto Club, and really the first 25 laps, 30 laps or so, you really just kind of let people go. You didn't really abuse those tires, as I hear sheet metal bending. I'm trying to see. But then those last 10 or 15 laps that you had in the fuel run there, you really put the hammer down and you tried to capitalize, and it really showed because you had a lot of people going backwards really quick at the middle to the end of the run, and I think you might start to see that here. I don't want to say it about the 199, but I don't know how much he might be using up there.
I think Justin, the way that he's running right now, he's built up a big enough lead to where even if his car does start to fall off a little bit, he's probably going to have to hit pit road before the guys get to him. But nonetheless, this battle for second is shaping up to be insane, as it looks like the 40 car of Chad Ellis and the 11 car of Dennis Ellis are now closing in on this battle.
Yeah, Brian.
Chris Wold down low.
Chris Wall down low. Brian Dorsey trying to sneak his nose right in there. He slides up a little bit into the apex of the corner. Coming out of turn number 4, he's going to follow the 56 Mike Taylor's draft, followed by Dave Sanders.
Yeah, and these guys are really going at it right now. Looks like Brian Dorsey's trying to work the outside on the 32 car of Chris Wold. That's the long way around, and it's difficult to do here at Michigan with how much grip this place has. Usually the inside is dominant, but he's going to make it work. These big, we talked about it at the beginning of the race, these big momentum-based cars, if you can get these things really up and flying on the outside lane, you can really carry that momentum all the way around the track.
Yeah, now we see
Dorsey looking to the inside.
See Dorsey on the inside, put in the 56 Mike Taylor. Under attack again, he's going to go around him with relative ease. Makes it look easy.
Yeah, guys, I think the 56 might have used his stuff up early.
Dylan Reed wants to know if they have to pit.
They should have to pit. This is a 60 lapper, so I'm assuming the fuel window is somewhere around 38 to 40 laps or so. Anything after that, that's going to be quite the stretch, I'd have to think. 60 laps is quite the run in these cars.
And now we see Dennis Ellis coming out of turn number 2, getting the run on Chris Wold as he tries to make that for the 7th position. As he looks like he does so, and he's starting to creep up into the picture here a little bit. Ooh, he might have gotten the wall.
Yeah, got really loose there off turn number 4. Looks like he was able to hang on to it. We have a caution on the track.
We have a caution.
We got a yellow out here. That's going to change everything. That's going to change all the fuel strategy, but we're going to see if we can't find that yellow, find the reason for the yellow. As
looks like it's the 53 of Dalton Carter and the 29 of Jamie Beasley in 3 and 4. Ooh, one car hard in the wall in the middle of 3 and 4. Dalton Carter really got into the turn 4 wall pretty good. Not any big damage to the 29, but Dalton Carter definitely pancaked the right side of that thing.
Yeah, absolutely. And so we take a look here. We take a look at here at Cole Gray in the 44. We take a look at Eric Moore on the top side in the number 3, Chevy Impala. Scoots Custom Chevy Impala. Looking for the caution. That's not the cause of the caution. Was it the 53 you said, Tanner?
Yep, lap 20, the 53 and 29 going into turn 3.
We'll get there. No, 53?
Yep. with us, folks.
We don't have much of a budget.
I don't even know what's going on.
Well, we'll get to the replay here in a second, but while we're at it, we'll go ahead and bring the field down to caution pace on the back straightaway. Would not be surprised if everybody comes down pit road right here. I don't believe there's any tire limits in the Rising Star series, so come down and take them when you need them. And I believe Justin Gross will be leading everybody down pit road. And with that being said, Tim's time to shine. The designated pit reporter of the broadcast tonight will send it down pit side to Tim Rogers as the field comes on to pit road off of 4.
Yeah, something I've been hearing over everyone's radio is tight, tight, and tight. You most likely see some 4-tire stops here, some wedge adjustments.
Single file onto pit road. We're gonna keep an eye on the number 72 car.
Oh, we got some contact.
We're gonna keep an eye on the number 72 car. As we come down here on the pit road, we're gonna see 4 tires up, 4
here
tires
comes
down.
the 72 car of Michael, who was it? Jonathan Ellis. His crew chief, Dale Inman, says that the driver's complaining that it's very tight out there, so they're going to make a wedge adjustment. They're going to put 4 fresh tires on that. They're going to fill it up with the gas as well.
And he's off. Fires off pit road, race off pit lane. Who's going to win it? Oh, man, it looks like it might be Brian Dorsey won the race off pit road in the number 9 machine. A little bit of a mix-up on pit road. Brian Dorsey's your leader off pit road, followed by the 72, Jonathan Ellis. Your leader, Justin Gross, that came onto pit road in the lead, is going to cycle around to 3rd. Saw a little bit of contact between him and the 72 prior to hitting the box, but looks like Justin's going to come out 3rd. 4th will be Mike Taylor. 5th will be Michael Witt. That'll round out your top 5.
Tim, I love the air gun sound effects you got going down there. It sounds like you're right in the middle of the action.
It's real. I'm right down there. They're not sound effects. I mean, I'm on pit road.
So from here on out, we should be able to make it as we see the lights still on the Ford Mustang. Probably will go out this time by indicating the 1 lap to go here at the line in Brooklyn, Michigan. 23 laps complete. Going to be starting lap number 24 here. Brian Dorsey kind of leapfrogged over into the pits. Comes out the race leaders. We see the lights coming out. Brian Dorsey going to be restarting as the race leader. Jonathan Ellis going to be 2nd. Justin Gross, Michael Witt, and Dave Sanders rounding out your top 5.
Yeah, and I do think these guys are going to be safe on fuel to the end, but I got to tell you, they are not going to be safe by much. We're going to be talking about possibly a 35-lap run to the checkered flag here when the green flag drops on this restart. Like I said earlier, the fuel window is somewhere in the 36 to about 40-lap range. So, like I said, they're to the good, but definitely not by much. Maybe a couple of these guys might have fuel on their mind, do a little saving before the end of this race. Some guys might just go hard and gamble, but we'll have to see when the green flag comes out.
Yeah, absolutely. And while we still got 30 seconds here before we return back to green flag racing here in the Irish Hills, want to go ahead and get it out there. If you are not already following Full Velocity Racing Network and Cyber Thunder Racing League on Facebook, go ahead and do so. They are covering our Pro Cup series the entire season long for the BladeNode.com Pro Cup series. Tomorrow night. Tanner
right
won last week's race. No, he didn't. Travis Everett won last week's race.
Guys, we have some in-car radio from Justin Gross after that contact on pit road.
I gotta go. We're going green.
Obviously, Justin Gross not exactly fired up with his crew after that. Nonetheless, green flag is in the air. Brian Dorsey leads the field across the line alongside the 72 machine of Jonathan Ellis down into turn number 1. Justin Gross going to slot in behind him. Looks like Dorsey's going to clear himself into 1. And Ellis is under fire from Justin Gross on the inside as they're 3 wide in the middle of the pack. This is where the big wrecks happen, boys.
I'm over here. I'm still trying to gather it together as we see Brian Dorsey with a 5-car length lead heading down the backstretch into turn number 3 over Jonathan Ellis and Justin Gross.
You guys think Justin Gross will race any differently now that he's 3rd?
After that radio transmission, I'm going to say he's probably going to drive pretty aggressive. As
I
we're
would agree.
3 wide off turn number 4, 2 rows deep.
Cole
Looks like
Gray
we're back
right in
to
the
1
middle.
row deep. Zach Chalice on the inside, Cole Gray in the middle, Robert Ratterson on the top. We saw him up front in the beginning of the race. Maybe he'll try to charge back to the front on this restart.
And good to see Zach and Cole out there. They're kind of mired back there, and as we see,
wrecking off turn
Get a
number
spinner.
4, Michael Witt.
Michael Witt, as I try to get my camera over there quick enough.
Doesn't look like he hit anything. Wheels are up.
Wheels are up and wings are down on that car, as we see those roof flaps did their job, and that Storm Chasers looks like he was chasing something down there.
Yeah, hell of a save, though. I thought for a second there he was really going to get into the inside wall pretty hard. Not exactly sure what got that car sideways. Sure, Tom will try to cue it up on the replay and catch out what happened, but nonetheless, good save from Michael Witt in the 26, and minimal to no damage to that machine.
Yeah, Kyle Jetty over here going, look at his hands. We're going to take a look at
his hands!
We're going to take a look at his hands here in just a second. What a turn of events here for the 26 and for the entire field as we're now in the middle of turns number 1 and 2. I'm going to see if I can't figure out how to...
Just click on their name and go back in laps, buddy.
We're just going to send it. So he's coming out of here, out of turn number 2. Look at his hands coming out of turn number 2. He's got those hands hand over hand. Nice.
I think he got a little help right there from Dennis Ellis, possibly.
I would not be surprised to see that at all, but excellent job by him to get on those brakes, have the wherewithal, avoid that inside retaining wall completely.
Yeah, it looks like maybe Witt got up the track just a little bit in the middle of 1 and 2, killed his momentum. Dennis Ellis really had a phenomenal turn 1 and 2 there, and just nowhere to go with a full head of steam, and just got into the back of the 26 car, sent him down onto the apron. And like we said, fortunately the 26 didn't hit anything, but nonetheless we are under caution here, and it doesn't look like anybody will be coming down pit road, at least from the top 10.
Yeah, I tell you what, we could go ahead and grab an onboard view here. This will tell the story. A little bit of contact coming out of turn number 2 between Dennis Ellis and Michael Witt, as was suspected.
Yeah, looking at the front end of the 11 machine, no noticeable damage that I can see. Maybe a couple scuffs and scrapes, but no real even cosmetic damage on that 11 car. Just goes to show how little it takes to really get one of these big heavy stock cars sideways when they're doing 160, 170 mile an hour off of the corner like that. Can't ding up the Hooters car either. Can't do that.
Can't ding up the Underbird, as we see on the front valence there.
Really going through the field right now anyway, there's not a whole lot of cars that have damage, actually. Just kind of scrolling through the field. Good signs for the Rising Stars division here at Michigan. This place is really, really aero sensitive, and even the smallest amount of damage can really kill your straightaway speed and your corner handling. So these guys are doing a really good job of taking care of each other, and closing in on halfway here in about 2 laps. Hopefully the pendulum, if you will, doesn't swing too far the other way and we start getting real ballsy, if you want to call it that, but we'll have to see how the second half of this race plays out. Brian Dorsey still your leader as round.
Here comes Dennis Ellis down pit road.
Tanner, right?
4th position.
Dennis Ellis come down here on the pit road, number 4 position. I don't think he's going to be using his fast repair down here, but you know, if you're kind of running towards the back, there's no tire limits, as he's definitely driving through more than 5 pit stalls in.
Yeah, I'm getting word from Chris Gayhart, the crew chief of the number 11. Dennis Ellis cannot see where he's going. There appears to be some sort of debris on his windshield, as they're going to clean that off, and maybe a little wedge adjustment on that number 11 Hooters car. And he's off.
Yeah, it's definitely not optimal when you can't see where you're going. Seeing where you're going is definitely going to help you out. That is a true statement for sure. Yeah, it's a tough crowd tonight, folks. Crickets. Anyway, we're a half a lap from the green, half a lap from the restart. Dennis Ellis still your leader. Brian Dorsey your leader. Jonathan Ellis outside of him. We got the whole Ellis family in the field tonight.
We do.
How about that?
You love to see it. It is a family sport.
You can catch them in Michigan. How about that?
How about that?
I see Kyle Jetty, I see Jason Shepard, I see Tanner Wells, I see Nathan Good out here, all hanging out here with us tonight. Go ahead, tell us your picks for tonight. I know some of you guys have already gotten those in as the pace car makes that left-hand turn down onto pit road. Brian Dorsey and Jonathan Ellis going to be leading us back to the green silk.
Side by side once again across the line, completing lap number 30. Cross flags go in the air. We are halfway done with this one. 30 in, 30 to go. The 199 looking to the inside of the 72. Jonathan Ellis as they work turns number 1 and 2. Let's see if we can get through here a little bit better this time. No smoke as of yet. Everybody minding their manners here. Down the back straightaway. 2 by 2 by 2 by 2 by 2.
And Justin by 2. And Justin Groves continuing to challenge, trying to get back up to the lead. He was the leader coming onto the pit road before there was a little bit of contact, and then we heard that radio communication. But Justin Groves now trying to set his crosshairs on Brian Dorsey, last week's winner and current points leader.
Yeah, you know, we were talking about it in the pre-race. We were talking about our guys going to be able to come in here and carry the momentum from the previous week, and obviously Dorsey's doing that right now. Didn't exactly have the qualifying run I think he wanted, but nonetheless, he is your leader right now, although he's under fire from the 199 as they're side-by-side going up the backstretch towards the north end of the speedway.
Heading down here in turn number 3, quarter to quarter, 199. Justin Gross going to be making that big arc down here into turn number 3. Is Brian Dorsey going to try to get that run out, but he's going to hear door bumper, quarter bumper clear.
Oh, 72 car almost caught the wall right there. Big checkup. Not sure what the problem was off turn number 4, but the whole back half of the field really had to get on the binders there. It looks like everybody gathered it up, but lots of good battles going on right now all over the speedway. Right now I'm looking at Zach Chalice to the inside of Eric Moore off turn number 2. Eric's going to keep his foot in it, try to get the momentum back around the outside. Looks like he's going to do it. 56 going to try to tag along.
Yeah, for sure. And somebody's name that we haven't said too much of tonight, Mike Mahoney, currently kind of having just kind of a quiet night, running up in the 11th position. Had to wait for that to roll back around. Just sitting outside just the top 10. Good on them. You know, that's what the Rising Stars series is designed to do. Get some of these guys up front, get them racing for race wins and making those late race decisions, as you see Zach Jahalis, Mike Mahoney, Cole Gray, Mike Taylor, Eric Moore, who's trying to be abducted by aliens right here. Get them up front, see them race for some wins here on the Wednesday night in the Cyber Thunder Racing League.
Yeah, and just real quick, while we're kind of going through the field, I do want to pop in and check on our birthday boy one more time, Richard Pruitt in the 248, 24 on your screen machine. Running in the 16th position right now. Kind of having a quiet night, keeping his nose clean, staying out of trouble, but nonetheless having a solid performance, and birthday boy's looking pretty good so far.
Yeah, and right behind him are several people's picks. Dr. Dale Lee. Do it for Dale Lee. That's what we say around these parts of Cyber. The doctor not having that great of a night. He's going to have to go to the doctor. I don't know. He's currently running in the 18th position. 5.5 seconds back on the field here tonight, just in front of Michael Witt.
Yeah, Michael Witt, obviously we just saw him not too long ago going for that big slide down the back straightaway. Not exactly the night either of those guys are wanting to have, but like we were saying about Pruitt, trying to keep their nose clean as much as they can and just have a solid performance here early on in the season and just try to get through the night.
As we kind of cycle back around here, we're going to flip back around to the lead pack. We got about a 5-10 car lead to turn number 2 from the 199 over to the number 9, last week's winner, Brian Dorsey.
Yeah, Dorsey's not letting him get too far out in front. You know, the first run we saw Justin Gross really kind of check out, actually to the point where he was a half second faster than second place at times. But Dorsey's right there. We know that Dorsey's quick. We saw him run the, I believe it was the Xfinity Series last year a little bit, and or maybe it was the Cup Series. I'm not 100% sure, but either way, we saw him running that, and he definitely had some speed. And we know how hard those cars are to drive, so maybe he's going to take that experience that he knows and try to jump up here and take this one away from Justin.
Yeah, for sure. And you know what? One name that I don't think we've said the entire night, but he's sitting quietly in our top 5 here, Tim and Tanner. 96, Charles Gettings. Good to
Yeah, sitting right now in 4th.
sitting right here in 4th place. I don't think we said his name the entire night. Good to see him up there, running up there. Last week he ran up in the top 5 almost the entire race long before unfortunately being taken out by probably a last lap incident. But good on him, good on the 96 crew, and Nathan Somerville, his spotter, out here tonight. See him running up there.
Yeah, and right behind him, actually looking to the inside of that 96 machine right now, Chris Wold in the 32. We were talking about him before qualifying even began as the bubble car. Like, he wasn't even going to make it in the race. Only made the race by, I think, 3 or 4 thousandths of a second. Qualified 5th, running 5th, and knocking on the door of 4th. But what a turnaround night for Chris Wold that he's got going on right now. Who knows, maybe if we get some late race restarts or whatnot, some of these guys running 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th can jump up there and try to take this one away.
As we
Working lap number 38.
As we cycle back a little bit further here, Dave Sanders currently sits in the 6th position, followed by Chad Ellis. Paul Turner, always kind of a quiet driver. We don't really talk too much about him, but Paul's always ticking out top 5s, top 3s, and usually up there at the end. So I would not be surprised to see Paul Turner make his way up there for the finish of tonight's race.
Yeah, and right behind him, we see Rob Rogerson. We saw him early on in the race running up front. Kind of got shuffled to the back there. Not really sure what was going on with that car. But back inside the top 10, running in a solid 9th. And just behind them, that's when you start getting into the bee's nest. Guys start getting 2x2, side by side, all over the speedway.
As we've seen Mike Mahoney, we were talking about him a few minutes ago, now made his way up into the 10th position, followed by Cole Gray in that RST Timberworks car coming out of turn number 2. And then it's the bee's knees behind them coming out of turn number 2 as we see the whole battle. Zach Chahalis, Corey Range. Corey kind of having a quiet night over here, followed by Dave Gainforth in that chrome car.
Yeah,
Nice
good
back
bounce
here, guys.
But
Good bounce back that Range has got going on. We saw him sliding down to the grass there on that first run, but knocking on the door of the top 15.
close, but no cigar out of turn number 4 as Corey makes the pass on Zach C coming out turn number 4, head down here at turn number 1 on the north end of the speedway.
Gainforth going to get around Chalice there too. Maybe the 22 car is starting to build tight or something along those lines. Side by side off turn number 2.
Well, Tanner and Tim, you guys know this to be true. It's so difficult when you're racing towards the back of the field because you burn so much more up. You don't, every spot back here, you're fighting for more than you would if you were up front, right? So you could burn the tires up back here a lot quicker than if you were running up towards the front. You're racing other people, you're racing the track, and then 15 laps into the run, your car's toast.
Oh, absolutely. And I think the other thing that a lot of people just kind of, throw to the wayside that's really important on these cars is just clean air. You get back in the pack and get guys ahead of you 2 and 3 wide. Nothing you can do. I mean, obviously you're just along for the ride, but these cars do not drive as well in dirty air as they do in clean air. Hear the real life guys talk about it a lot, and it's no different here in iRacing. You can get these things back in the pack, and they just don't drive as good.
Absolutely. We're going to switch back over here to the 199. Justin Gross and Brian Dorsey and Jonathan Ellis is your top 3 currently coming out of turn number 4, clicking off less than 20 laps to go here this time.
Yep, working over lap number 42, and Dorsey's not letting him get away. He's only about a half second off of his bumper right now. Like we were saying, we know Dorsey has got the experience and the talent to get up there and win these races. It's just got to wonder, maybe he's got a little something left in the tank. Maybe Gross sees that and he's just trying to manage the gap back to second. But we'll have to keep an eye on that battle for sure as we get down towards the end of this thing, closing in on 15 to go.
Yeah, and one thing that's really kind of important to monitor is your tire wear. As Tim Rogers is down in the 9 pit, he's talking with the crew chief of the number 9 car. Tim, what's the tire reading on that 9 car and the 199 car look from their last time?
Yeah, I'm down here in the 9 pit talking to the crew chief of the number 9, Alan Gustafson. He's saying that his driver is really tight. The setup here is really tight, and that it's really hard to save tires. But he's doing all he can, and they're gaining on that 199 car.
Yeah, you see the gap closing as they head into turn number 3. Dorsey is there for sure. Running a little bit of a higher entry. That's probably going to help his tire wear just a little bit over the 199 and keep his momentum up as well, as he's actually got a big run off turn number 4 here. Going to have the help from the draft as they go over the start-finish line. He's going to close that lead down to about 3 car lengths as they head into 1.
Well, Tim Tanner, you know, we only got about 17 laps to go. The time is now to start pushing towards the front, start pushing that car, get everything out of it that you can. How about we take a listen? How about we take a gander into those sights and those sounds of...
Oh, yeah.
Hey, what do you want to do? You want to do it?
Crank it up?
You want to crank it up a little bit?
Let's crank it up.
Let's crank it up here. We're going to let the sights and the sounds of Michigan International Speedway tell the story.
Bang!
Beautiful sights and sounds. We complete 15 laps to go, now sitting at 14 laps to go. Justin Gross going to be your race leader still, just over Brian Dorsey. The 15 to go, sponsored by Budweiser, the official beer of NASCAR. Brought to you by Tim Rogers out here in the YouTube chat box.
Yeah, I've been watching the lap times between these top 2 right now, and they've just been kind of flip-flopping back and forth. Really, none of them has a real distinct advantage over the other. Gross, obviously, is going to have the biggest advantage when it comes to clean air, like we were just talking about, but Dorsey's got the help of the draft just a little bit, so have to see if he can get up there and start knocking on the back bumper of the 199 car, but Justin's been in a league of his own all night. I think it's going to be hard to do.
Yeah, he certainly has, but I don't know if you want to have that draft. We talk so much about how these cars are so aerosensitive. Excuse me. We talk so much how these cars are so aerosensitive that you're just cooking the right front if you're if you're pushing the car in the line behind somebody else. So we'll see if he's able to get up there, as he's now 0.4 of a second behind the race leader, 3 seconds over the rest of the field. So really, it looks like it's going to be a race between the 199 and the 9 car as we head down here into turn number 1.
3 wide right now in the middle of the pack between Corey Range, Michael Witt, and I believe that's Mike Taylor as they go into turn number 1. Looks like they're going to sort that battle out, but good little battle that was going on there. Looks like Range is probably going to get the best of it as Michael Witt about loops that one around one more time.
Yeah.
Who does that?
As Mike Taylor up there getting real free.
I think wow. I think Michael Witt has earned the title of Dan Diaz tonight. I think he is the man on the move. He is the one that's making this race interesting to watch. Dylan Reed says, I saw debris in turn 4. He says, put her out.
I think that may have been a water bottle down there. Not sure. That could really tear up a race car.
Oh, as we got live on camera, we got contact between the 26, Michael Witt, and Eric Moore. They both gathered up very nicely coming through here.
Oh, Dale Lee.
Man.
Dr. Dale Lee coming through. He got the mask over his eyes. He can't even see what's happening in front of him. As we come through turn number 1 and 2, Michael Witt still very loose out of turn number 2. We got to get back up here to the lead.
Yeah, Dorsey's reeled him in. He's high wide enhancement off turn number 4 is going to really keep the momentum up and really close the gap down on Justin Gross as they come across the line. 9 laps to go. Can Dorsey get there? I think getting there is one thing, but really having to work around him is another. Michigan's kind of a one-groove racetrack, so it's really not that easy of a place to pass unless you got a really big run on a guy. So we'll have to see if Dorsey can do anything with him once he gets there.
Less than 10 laps to go this time by as we head down here into turn number 3 on the south end of the speedway.
Oh, caution is out.
Yellow is out. We're gonna
change everything.
We're gonna
Middle
send
of
it
the
down
back
to
straightaway.
we're gonna send it down to our pit reporter here, see if he can help us out.
Oh, Mike Taylor, I believe, was involved,
Right.
as well as Corey Range again.
Unfortunate.
Yeah, so we're looking at the 071 cars, the 967, as well as the 56, headed down the back straightaway.
Yeah, as we're taking a look here, 967, Mike Mahoney, Cole Gray, Mike Taylor, all these guys coming out of turn number 2. Looks like Corey Range just gets, as we see that new damage model in full effect there. Looks like he just gets a little bit loose. That really, the short end of the stick there goes to the number 56 of the Mad Racing car. He was the one that spun around, but really no damage on that car. I saw a hood, but I'm not sure where the hood came from.
Yeah, not really a lot of damage on any of the cars, to be fair. We're doing a really good job tonight. We're under the 4 cautions, so we are on the under. So, good signs tonight, but yeah, it looks like Range probably just split that seam a little bit down there and coming off at 2, and that car stepped out on him just a little bit. Had to chase it up the hill,
and everyone's coming down.
And everybody's coming down here. We're gonna send it to our pit road expert, Tim Rogers. Tim, help us out here.
He's coming. He's not there yet. He's not there.
I'm not sure if you're live there, Tim.
He's almost there. He's almost there. All right, so the crew chief of the 199, Todd Gordon, says that his driver's saying that it feels like there's like olive oil on his tires or something. He says the car is really loose and that they're going to put 4 fresh tires on that machine, and they're going to make a little wedge adjustment, and he's off.
2 tire stops.
2 tire stops. We see Brian Dorsey and Cole Gray, Charles Gettings, Dave Sanders.
Wow.
Big brain move, boys. Big brain.
Shakeups here.
Huge brain.
D's
Cole
lug
Gray.
nuts.
I love the move.
Dadgum. I know we're in the midst of the coronavirus and there's no fans in the stands, but I'll tell you what. If there were, they shouldn't have to pay the full price of their seat because they're only using the edge of it. We're under caution, by the way.
I wonder if the Colonel is out here visiting us from Kentucky.
I don't think the Colonel is here in Michigan because he's a statue, Tom, and he can't walk.
Oh, that's right. Well, maybe it's Reba. Maybe Reba's the Colonel again. We need to go back to simpler times.
We just need to have Kid Rock up there in the stands. He's from the Detroit area. We're not far from it. We're not far from the Motor City. Maybe get Eminem up in the stands there, old Marshall Mathers.
The lady too tough to tame is Kyle Jetty giving me a hard time. Kyle Jetty, there was a reason we banned you.
Lights are out on the pace car, boys.
Lights are out. 1 lap to green here in Brooklyn, Michigan. The 2-mile D-oval, the Doval, as we're getting ready to go green here again. Brian Dorsey, Cole Gray, Charles Gettins, Dave Sanders, and Chad Ellis. Justin Gross was your leader coming into pit road, but a big shakeup. A lot of 2-tire stops, a lot of strategy. We'll see how that plays out here. It's going to be just 7 laps remaining at the line next time by.
Yeah, I'm hearing in-car radio from the number 44 of Cole Gray. He's not very happy with his crew chief. He thought they were taking no tires, but instead they took 2. He's not very happy. Oh, we got a little dust up back there.
Yeah, we got a problem with the 119. Justin Gross. Oh, looks like he's back under power. Sorry, Tim. Sorry to cut you off. I thought we might lose our fastest car of the night. But looks like he's got that thing fired back up.
Yeah. Apparently, Justin Gross said he dropped his water bottle on the ignition switch. Oh, man, you can't do that. But he got it refired.
And coming up here in just about another 10 minutes or so, a full post-race show live here on the Cyber Thunder Broadcasting Network, sponsored by Talarico Sign and Design, as we're getting ready to crown a winner for tonight's race here. Who's it going to be? Tell us that here in the YouTube chat box. I see picks for Cole Gray. I see picks for Dale. I see picks for Zach. I see picks for Rob Rogerson. A little bit of picks for everybody. Tanner, bring us back home.
And the field comes into the Geico restart zone. Green flag is going to be in the air. Are you on the 2-tire side or the 4-tire side? I myself, I probably would have wanted to have the 4 tires because these things tend to get a little bit on the free side. On 2. We'll find out right here as the field goes into turn number 1. Going to have Dorsey on the inside, Cole Gray on the outside, both on 2 tires. I believe your first car on 4 is that 199 machine of Justin Gross as he's down on the bottom.
He's been the man to beat all night long. But I tell you what, we got another yellow out here.
Oh,
the
man.
field's going to slow their pace out of turn number 2.
I didn't see anyone wreck.
Changes everything. Not really.
Didn't the last one changes everything?
Yeah, I just like to say that when the caution comes out. That's all.
Who wrecked?
I don't know who wrecked, honestly.
What the heck?
Race control evidently saw that water bottle that Dylan Reed was talking about in chat. Just didn't feel like picking it up on the last caution we had.
Yeah, they certainly did.
We need a word with series admin Crank Bell. See what that was about.
I believe we've got one green-white checker in here, right, guys?
We do have one green-white checkered and unlimited tires. So we'll see how this one plays out.
Well, on that restart, we saw Dorsey maintain the lead, but Charles Gettings, I believe, did get around Cole Gray. So the inside lane, I think, has been preferred on restarts all night long. So actually, it may have played into Cole Gray's favor. But nonetheless, your car that has dominated the night, Justin Gross in the 199. I'm not going to count him out yet, but he definitely wanted to see that thing go green right there all the way to the checkered flag.
Absolutely. You know what? I was able to find the cause of the caution over here. Turns out one of the safety cars was not off the racing surface. We didn't have a camera angle for it, unfortunately, but those darn safety cars was what caused our caution the second time.
Well, that is unfortunate.
That is unfortunate, but that's why they're safety cars.
You hate to see that.
You hate to see it.
Field working lap number 57 now as we go into the line. Lights are still on the pace car, so we will be going at least one more lap.
Yeah, this is not going to be a quickie. We're going around another lap here at the very minimum.
I believe if we get this thing going here in the next 2 laps, it won't count as an attempt at a green-white checker, so we'll have to... We might get 2 restarts out of this if we need it. But we'll have to be going here by lap, I believe, 59.
Kind of while we're running around here, let's take a look at the 29 car, Jamison Beasley. Jamison Beasley is currently sitting back in the 19th position, just having really kind of a rough night. Last week, so good, so dominant at Daytona. We saw him pushing everybody to the lead, but tonight he currently runs around in the 19th position, 18th position, just trying to finish out tonight and come out of here still in the top 10 in points.
Well, yeah, we saw earlier in the race, our actual first caution of the night, he had that little bit of an incident up in turn number 3 with Dalton Carter, and Jameson didn't really get a whole lot of damage out of the whole thing, but whenever you're running good in mid-pack or wherever Jamie was running, I believe he was running sort of mid-pack there, and get turned around and get shuffled to the back, like we were saying with the air and the tires and whatnot, it is hard to really work your way back up through there, and unfortunately for Jamie tonight, that's kind of the end of the stick that he was on, but nonetheless, like you were saying, know he's quick, just cards didn't fall his way tonight, and we'll have to gear it up and try again next week.
Yeah, absolutely. And as we take a look at the schedule for next week here, as we have just a little over a lap before we return back to green. Tanner, I can't see that. Where are we at next week?
Next week, we're headed to Chicagoland Speedway for
The Windy
75
City.
laps of action on that 1.5 miles. Really abrasive surface, so that's probably going to be a pretty good race there. Can't wait to call that one. And then after that, we head back home to Charlotte Motor Speedway for another 75-lap event on the 7th of October.
Absolutely. So short little season here kind of our winter season around here at Cyber Thunder Racing League. 3 nights of racing. Tuesday is our Xfinity Series. Wednesday is our Driver Developmental Series, the Rising Stars Series, 2,000 I rating or less. Obviously, you're watching an amazing race out here tonight. 24 car strong, 32 car field. And Thursday is our BladeNode.com Pro Cup Series. Anybody that's interested can certainly go ahead and check us out and get with us. Maybe we'll see you out here on a Tuesday, Wednesday, or a Thursday night as we're looking at Brian Dorsey, Charles Gettings. Now your front row coming to the restart zone here.
And I don't know if this is an attempt at a green-white. I'm pretty sure that it might be.
I'm not sure because it wasn't extended.
I don't know if maybe we could get a word in from one of our admins possibly about that, but see the 96 really aggressively scuffing those tires coming to the restart. But keep your eyes on the 199 machine. We know he's been fast all night, first one on 4 tires, and we'll see what the call was to win the race here shortly.
We'll
Green
see,
flags in the air.
Barney's got that flag waving back up in the air. Dead heat at the start-finish line. Good start by Charles Gettins, but Cole Gray is going to be pushing Brian Dorsey down here into turn number 1. Not much help on the top line.
Clean and green so far. I don't want to jinx it, but 2 by 2 all the way back through about the first 6 rows of action. As we see Gross down to the bottom, really trying to work over the 44 car. He knows he's got to go right now.
Brian Dorsey going to be sliding up right in front of Charles Gettins. Charles Gettins knows he's got to try to get his nose up on the top side if he wants to make that run. Not sure you're going to do anything on the bottom, especially with only 2 laps to go, but we see Justin Gross in the 199 car trying to make a run.
Brian, wrecking in the back. Did he get the white flag? There's our green-white right here. It is not over, folks.
We did not get the green-white.
That was a big wreck in the back. I believe that was Chalice and maybe, oh, it was Dr. Daly. Oh, you hate to see that, man. He's running so good.
Let's go on board here with Dr. Dale. Unfortunate for Dr. Dale. Maybe we're not.
Looks like Robert Gregoire got a pretty big piece of that as well, was able to keep rolling, but looks like the right front's towed out on that car pretty good.
As we try to find it here, I think it knocked the cameras off the car. I think they hit that hard. Trying to find a view here to give the cyber viewers
Wow, it almost looks like something maybe broke on the 22 car. Just snapped right around on him. Then a big hit from the 45.
And then another big hit into the wall for the 45.
In the words of Larry Mack, that's a hard lick.
He hit that wall a ton.
He did hit that wall a ton.
Well, both Zach and Dale have a chance to win the modified division now.
I tell you what, so we're down here. The cleanup crew is picking up the pieces off of the number 22 and 45. They're picking up the cameras that we were going to use to bring you the live action. Unfortunately, that's not going to be possible here tonight, but we're going to be bringing you the action of the green-white checkered here. Jason Shepard, last restart of the night will be fun. Certainly will, Jason.
And, you know, I don't believe Justin Gross made up any positions on that restart. I think or maybe he did. I think he was running 5th at the last restart, and he's still locked there, so he's going to have 2 more laps to get it done. The 4 tires obviously aren't as big of a help as I actually thought they were going to be, and I think if Dorsey can just get clear of the 96 Charles Gettings off turn number 2 again, he might be able to hold them off.
And I'm hearing from race control that phantom yellow that we had just about 5 minutes ago was the wrong drivers were showing the black flag, and race control was trying to get that figured out, so that's why Crank Bill decided to extend that yellow there.
Yeah, as we look back through the field, we see some pretty substantial damage on the 82 car, Robert Gregoire, electing to stay out. So Hopefully that doesn't affect him too much on this restart, but nonetheless, I believe the lights are out on the pace car. Will be going green next time around.
Yeah, as we sit here, we're on the right front suspension camera. You can see the entire right side of that 82 Robert Gregoire, like a scene out of Talladega Nights. That entire right side of that right front fender is all sorts of torn off, coming down here in turn number 1 and 2. I don't know. You think we'll see some Jacques debris from that?
You know, iRacing's new damage model has been pretty iffy, so I don't want to say no, but I think it's unlikely, but definitely a chance there for something quirky to go on with the iRacing settings for sure.
That is for sure. One lap to green here as we're coming down here the long stretch of the Michigan International Speedway at the Cyber Thunder Boardwalk Subs 200.
It's Cyber Thunder overtime, baby.
It's Cyber Thunder overtime.
Guys, I have some news.
Oh boy.
We have lost Mike Mahoney.
Oh.
He has left the server.
We're
I
about
don't know why.
We're about to go green here. Tim just kills me every time. Coming out of turn number 4. They're going to be making...
Next flag ends the race.
Next flag's going to end the race, whether it be the white or the yellow. Brian Dorsey going to be leading them down here. Green silk back up in the air. We're racing again here. Green, white, checkered, cyber style.
Oh!
Oh, good start back there for Gross, but it looks like Gettings is going to clear Dorsey into 1.
Yeah.
He got him clear.
Nice job by the 96 by Charles Gettings, clearing him down here in turn number 1. Gettings, Dorsey,
That's big.
Gray, Paul Turner, we were just talking about him a little bit ago, and Justin Gross, your top 5 as there's a contact out of turn number 2.
Vulgar gets turned.
Oh, big wreck off.
Oh, we have a
That's-
wheelie.
That's the whole field.
And that's going to be it. That is going to be the race tonight.
Charles Gettings.
Charles Gettings with a monster of a restart as we
Paul
see,
Turner coming home 3rd.
as we see Paul Turner, Cole Gray, Justin Gross. What a bummer for him. He ran up front for so long tonight. Jamison Beasley trying to get it gathered up to get it going in the right direction. But Charles Gettings going to be your winner here tonight. We're going to be doing a full post-race interview with your top 3, so just hang around here for a few minutes.
Yeah, some unfortunate, really good runs came to an end right there off turn number 2. You see the 199. Justin Gross obviously had a really quick car all night long. Looks like he's going to come home in about the 15th, 16th, or 17th position tonight. Chris Wold, we were talking about him, last car in on time, running top 5 all night, involved in that. Heavy damage to that car.
Yeah, that car did a wheelie.
Yeah, Cole Gray. We saw him get up there late in the race with that 2-tire call. I believe that car just stepped out on him, unfortunately, off turn number 2, but he's going to have his night ended from that.
Yeah, and we're taking a ride here on board with Dennis Ellis in the number 11 Hooters car as he sees all the debris happen in front of him. Cole Gray spinning like a dreidel, made him out of clay. Made him out of Cole Gray. Coming down here in turn number 1 and 2. He thought he was gonna get through. Just gets clipped by Jamison Beasley in the 29 car.
Nonetheless, across the line for the final time, even if it is under yellow, Charles Gettings, I believe that's going to be his first win in the K&N Rising Star Series.
How about it?
Followed by Brian Dorsey, last week's winner, and Paul Turner in the 42 machine, piecing together a good run.
Absolutely, and nice job by them, and that was a monster of a restart. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to... Have they taken the checker yet?
They have.
Okay, so our top 10 tonight: Charles Gettings, Brian Dorsey, Paul Turner, Chad Ellis, Dave Sanders, Rob Rogerson, Eric Moore, Richard Pruitt, the birthday boy, Dr. Dale Lee in 9th place,
Dr.
and
Dale!
Robert Gregoire rounding at your top 10. We're going to pull down the top 3 finishers tonight: Charles Gettings, Brian Dorsey, and Mr. Paul Turner. And we'll be back here at the Cyber booth in just a few minutes.
We want to do third place first? Okay, hold on. Let me tab back in. Chad? Yeah. He's in the waiting room. Two of the three. Hold on, I just gotta get gettings. All right, they're all down there, but Dorsey's muted. Ellis.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Got to give him permission to speak as well.
Yeah. Just let us know when we go back live, because I
Okay.
gotta do it once I get in here.
User was moved to your channel. User disconnected from your channel.
Oh, we've lost Chad Ellis. We're live right now.
Yep. I'm waiting on somebody to be pulled up here.
Well, our second place finisher, Brian Dorsey, has his mic muted, so we might just jump right to our winner.
Let's go straight to our winner. We'll see if we can get Brian Dorsey here in just a second. Worst case scenario, we'll pull a random finisher down
User
here
was
and do a
moved to your
post race.
channel.
Hey, Charles, this is Tanner, Tim, and Tom up in the Cyber Thunder broadcast booth. You got a copy, buddy?
Yes, sir. How's it going?
Hey, man, congratulations. Way to just take it away there. Hell of a restart. Cautions obviously fell at the right time for you there at the end. Tell us about the last 10 or 15 laps or so of what you had to do to get up there and get in position to win this thing.
Man, honestly, the second to last caution there, not the green, white, checker one, but the second to last one, at that point, right before it came out, I didn't even want it to come out. I was perfectly fine with the P3. I was just going to roll there, finish the last 10 laps out. And that last caution came out before the green, white, checkered. And I was happy with P2, or P3 actually. And looked like the 44 there leading the outside line in P2. I believe he only took 2 tires on the pit stop, so I figured he might hold up the outside line and I'll roll with the inside. And then I got P2 for the green, white, checkered there, and just knew I had to beat the 9 on the jump, and I believe I got it, took control of it.
Yeah, he did a hell of a job there for sure, getting up through the gears. Obviously, congrats on the win. I think we were talking in the booth. Is that your first Cyber Thunder win?
That is the first one.
Well, congrats, man, for sure. Just real quick here, one thing we always like to do is give you a chance to thank anybody, any teammates, sponsors, family, friends, the whole 9 yards. Anybody you got that you want to thank before we go off air here?
Big thanks to Cyber Thunder for hosting, obviously. Thanks to you guys for showing it and hosting it. I always love to see that. Big thanks to Vet TV. And big thanks to Nathan Somerville, my personal spotter. He rolled me through this thing and couldn't thank him anymore.
Awesome, man. Well, big time congrats. Charles Gettings, your winner here in the Irish Hills of Michigan for the 120-mile Rising Stars division race we had tonight, race number 2. And we'll go ahead and get Charles moved up here, maybe try to pull somebody else down here into the room.
User was moved out of your channel.
Yeah, Tanner, I've already grabbed the pre-race favorite, Dr. Dale Lee and Richard Pruitt, Birthday Boy. Which one you want to do first?
Let's do the old birthday boy, old
Let's
Richard Pruitt, the
all
old
right.
248.
All right, you.
User was moved to your channel.
Well, birthday boy, not too bad of a run there. Kind of crazy race. Richard, tell us how your race played out for you.
Man, it was a crazy race there. I just capitalized on track position there at the end when everybody started wrecking. That's the only way I pulled off a top 10. It was definitely tight out there. Tire wear was really hard on the JRM cars.
Yeah, we were talking about you quite a few times there during the race, and we're just talking about you're running smooth, running solid, keeping your nose clean all night long. And like you said, obviously that paid off when we had that big wreck there on the last lap that ended the race. We're able to squeak through and nab that top 10. But tell us who you got on that car you want to thank. I know obviously you probably got a lot of people watching this thing at home, but go ahead and we'll give you the floor to thank everybody that you want to thank, and good congrats on the good run.
Yeah, I just got to thank my mom and my friend David and his wife Melinda if they're tuning in and watching. And big thanks to Jamie, man. I wouldn't be here on iRacing if he hadn't helped me out. He's my teammate, and he didn't get a good finish tonight. And thanks to Tanner Tallarico for that awesome paint scheme I got for the Xfinity car too.
Hey, you know, those things are good for about 10 to 15 horsepower. Just throwing that out there. But thank you, Richard. We'll go ahead and move you up here. I think we're going to try to grab one more interview before this thing is all over with. But the birthday boy coming home with a top 10 in 7th place, Richard Pruitt, number 24 machine.
User was moved to your channel. User was moved out of your channel.
And while Tanner walks back from the number 248 pit crew, I've got the Dr. Dale Lee down here. Dr. Dale Lee, you're going to come home tonight with a 16th place finish. Nice job out there tonight. Dale, tell us about the race and how that was for you out here tonight.
Well, I pretty much ran like junk the entire night. I just can't find the balance between going fast on these tracks and burning the tires off. Little disappointed in the position that I've been placed in, just to be honest with you.
Yeah, and you know what? That's something that Tanner, Tim, and myself were talking about earlier in the race. Is that, you know, the farther you get back in the pack, the more you're going to burn off the tires. But I know you got some awesome teammates. You got Chris, you got Dylan, and you got Jeremy. All the Golden Girls Motorsports out there helping you guys. I saw you visited Victory Lane a few times this week. Tell us about those.
It's just public races, just trying to get a little bit better, getting some more seat time. Nothing too spectacular. Just like those short tracks a whole lot better than these 1.5 mile and 2 mile tracks.
Well, if you like short tracks, just stay tuned for a little bit longer. I think we might have something we might be talking about here in another couple of months. But Dale, awesome to see you out here. Cyber Thunder veteran, ran with you 10 years ago, and awesome to see you out here running, you know, for position. And Dale, we're going to give you the opportunity to go ahead and thank any of your teammates, sponsors, friends, family, coworkers, anybody that you may have out here watching tonight, allowing you to get out here on a Wednesday night and finish 16th.
Sure, I appreciate that. I'll just give a shout out to my teammates Dylan, Chris, Jeremy, and our newest guy Corbin from Golden Motorsports. I'm not sure where Golden Girls came from, but that's not quite correct. And also just want to give a shout out also to my main sponsor, the place that pays my bills every day. That's Mountain Empire Community College here in Virginia. Really good little school. We're going through this pandemic with a lot of students trying to learn virtually, and I don't envy the task that they're in right now.
Absolutely, Dale. Well, as always, it's a pleasure to see you out here running. One of these nights, we're going to be doing a Victory Lane interview with you, and I think it's going to be sometime this season. You were a pre-race pick for 4 or 5 or 6 different people. I know Chris was out there. Tanner picked you pre-race. One of these nights, we're going to be doing a Victory Lane interview with you. But Dale, awesome to see you out there. Best of luck. Enjoy the rest of your week, and I'm going to go ahead and get you moved back up here so you can go ahead of Golden Girl Motorsports and see if Sophia's up there for you.
Sure. All right.
User was moved out of your channel.
Tanner, Tim, that was a lot of fun.
That was a lot of fun, man. That was my first time back in the booth since I think Phoenix in the Rising Star Series last year. So nonetheless, what a race back, and Pro Cup tomorrow. So looking forward to that.
Pro Cup tomorrow. Where can they find that, Tanner?
Full Velocity Racing Network on YouTube and Facebook. So be sure to tune in. I believe their broadcasts go green right about 8 o'clock or so, which is essentially our qualifying time. But if the people watching at home don't have anything going on tomorrow night and you want to see some Cup car action, here at Michigan International Speedway as well, I believe we're going 80 laps tomorrow, or 85 laps tomorrow. Go ahead and tune into the Full Velocity Racing Network on YouTube and Facebook.
Absolutely, and that's the BladeNode.com Pro Cup Series. BladeNode.com, simple web solutions powered for nerds by nerds. Always a great time out there. Last week we had just a few cautions. Most of them were connection issues, but I want to thank everybody for joining us out here for the past hour and a half or so. Tim, Tanner, it's always a pleasure. Come out here, do this with your colleagues, your teammates, your friends, but your competitors as well. It's always a great time. So Tim, Tanner, want to thank you guys, all of YouTube chat box that was able to come out here. Jason Shepard, Tanner Wells, Dylan Reed, Kyle Jetty, Nathan Goot, just trying to grab all the names here, Cindy Range. I apologize if I missed anybody. Awesome to see everybody out here tonight. We will see everybody another time at some point throughout the season. Enjoy the rest of your night from Michigan International Speedway in Brooklyn, Michigan. Good night.